I woke up today and decided, yeah, that's right, I woke up. That's already a good thing. That's a good thing for me, too. I was just thinking how lucky you are I'm alive. I'm pretty glad you woke up as well, friendo. So I got the coffee, and you know what I decided? This may come as a surprise, but I decided to ponder wealth. I know, right? Who would have thought? As you can or can't see, I'm still counting these winged Liberty dimes, putting them in $2.50 face stacks, because $5 face stacks would topple over. You know, I was wondering, similar to pondering, I was wondering if it's healthy to wake up every morning and ponder wealth. Is it shallow or even immoral? Or at the very least, maybe selfish. Pull up a hot cup if you got one. We're going to talk about wealth today. Surprise, surprise. All right, real quick, I'm running late again. Who got the first comment yesterday? Thousandaires must know. Oh, look who's back. Such repetitive first. Makes me think there's skill involved. Maybe they hit the bell. I never say hit the bell. J-Rock, a.k.a. action breeds success. First class, Thousandaire. So what is wealth? And can I ponder it every morning without becoming mentally ill? Do I really want my neuroplasticity to contour around this thought process or subject for years on end, sculpting my brain just to merely be a wealth machine? If I actually do have a talented mind, would that be a waste of it? Or is the subject of wealth broad enough to expand upon for a lifetime? I'm getting enthusiastic. I think I'm actually going to enjoy talking about this. And I'm going to record it, put it on the internet for everyone to listen to, and then I'm going to listen to it later. Because, yeah, I watch Thousandaire radio videos. You do too, apparently. Spoiler alert, wealth is awesome. It's merely prosperity. If you would, hit that like button. Your likes and comments expand the Thousandaire radio signal. We got other friendos out there who need us, who haven't found us yet. And I'll say it again quickly today, without ranting. Thousandaire Radio will never be sponsored by bullion dealers or mining companies. If that sounds like something good to you that you would like to see expand, hit some buttons, would ya? All the pondering without all the pandering. So let's pull the threads on this wealth subject. Is it wrong to wake up every morning, have a cup of coffee, and think about wealth? Immediately, I think, is it wrong for a squirrel to get up in the morning and start gathering nuts and storing them in a tree? Let's really try to villainize that squirrel and envision it with a top hat. Right off the bat, right? No one cares about a squirrel storing nuts for the winter. But what if we paid great attention and found that squirrel had stored enough nuts for 40 winters? And a squirrel only lives 5 to 10 years in the wild. I just Googled that. Although it is possible they can live 15 to 20 years. But what if it had 40 years worth of nuts and you still see it out gathering them in the morning? Would that make you eyeball and judge that squirrel more? Or maybe it's just that tall top hat, mustache, and monocle. Who does that squirrel think he is? I'm trying to remember what book I had read it in, but there was a definition of wealth that I like. Say you just stopped working today. How long could you maintain the lifestyle that you have? How long could you keep doing what you do without scrambling for more filthy fiat? How long could you still pay your bills and buy food, etc.? I suppose that's not a definition of wealth, but how to measure wealth. Yeah, that's a way of measuring your wealth. I'll share. Oh, this is going to be fun. I haven't thought about this in a little while. Okay, today's Thursday, August 14th. At this moment, silver's $38.29. Gold is $3,355. Oh, wow. And at this moment, the Bitcoin is crashing to 118,800 something. It hit 124,000 yesterday. Okay, so I'll come up with an estimate. Like if I went to work, let's say I go to work today and someone's very rude to me. And I decide I'm going to leave, maybe grab some snacks, head to the theater, which has recliner seating now. I really like that. Yeah, so I leave work, never to go back. I go watch a movie, and I decide, you know what? I'm not going to get a job anywhere. I'm just going to stay home, make YouTube videos, and take long walks every day. Let's measure my wealth. How long could I do that? Since we're talking about the future, it's always going to be kind of a crude measurement because things can happen that are expensive. But let's just say pay the bills, eat some food, maybe even keep my car and pay my car insurance. Although I would be tempted to get a nice electric bike and put a milk crate on the back of it. So how long would I be okay for? Keep in mind, I keep my expenses low. I rented a room out. I think they may be a serial killer, but the extra $500 a month really does come in handy. I'll still round my expenses up significantly. Okay, so I could stay home for about 3 years. Now, if I made cuts, ate more rice and noodles, flip some things on eBay like I do, and, I make a little bit off YouTube each month. It comes out to be much less than minimum wage, but it's still something. I could probably stretch that out to 4 or 5 years. Or it could be less because it's not cash. I mean, it's assets, and those assets can go down, too. I've heard people talking lately like silver can't go down. They seem to think a worst-case scenario is it just kind of ranging sideways. And if you look at things like policies and bills passed, it makes sense. But there's a saying in investing: the markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. To be fair, they were pretty young, so they got quite a time horizon. And on a long enough timeline, the general trend for silver and gold is up. But the floor can drop out, and it could take a decade to recover. I'm not making any predictions. This is not financial advice. I'm just advising you to think about that, if you have not already. So eggs in baskets. Eggs in baskets. So I feel both good and unsatisfied about that 3-year horizon I have if I stopped working. That 3 years being my measurement of wealth. It's got me thinking, how much would be enough? I think the answer to that would be when the wealth earns enough to pay my monthly expenses. And maybe a little left over to reinvest as well. Is that greedy? Well, I have found the secret to happiness is having some form of progression. Constant progress. A lot of people seem to think that when someone gains wealth somewhere else, someone must have lost some wealth. Acquiring wealth is not a zero-sum game. When someone wins at creating wealth, that does not mean that fortune was built on others' misfortune or losses. That's not wealth. That's plunder. And such a fortune, I believe, is certainly cursed. People not ready for a sudden gain in wealth, they can't handle it. It takes time and discipline to become a money manager. It takes wisdom to wield the power. If you broke into a martial arts studio and stole a black belt, you can suit up and put it on. But that doesn't mean you'd be ready for the fights. But let's say you avoid the sparring and just postured and smiled and let everybody see you with your black belt. Well, you may be able to BS a yellow belt, maybe even a blue belt, but sooner or later, you'll be conversing with another black belt, and they will see right through you. It may only take them a quick glance at your footing. Plunderers know only other plunderers. There is no honor amongst thieves. When one is successful, the others come to rob them. That is not the kind of wealth that I'm talking about. I'm talking about building wealth. Say you had a couple $100 million and you wanted to go build a castle somewhere. You found a small, modest town and you decide to begin construction. You hire the people of the town to help you build it. You hire the stonemasons, the carpenters, the plumbers, the electricians. You even hire the strong dim-witted amongst them to carry the stones, along with some strong and very smart people as well. Just because they're strong doesn't mean they're dim-witted. Let's just say it takes a year or so. You spend the $250 million to make your castle, and it's glorious. It definitely outshines all the homes in the town. Who do you think you are? Count Dracula or something? So, what happened to the $250 million? It's gone. The people of the town have it now. And not just the ones that supplied the materials and did the work on the castle. You see, they spent some of that money too. Some of them took their pay and frequented the restaurants in the town. Somebody may have dropped a stone on their foot and went to the doctor. And many of them just went to the doctor anyway for their checkups, along with the dentist. The strong, dim-witted guy, he even bought a nice car from the town's car lot and really dressed it up, spared no expense, with some nice rims and tires from the tire shop. Some of the people in the town actually had themselves some much larger, nicer houses constructed. I think they were inspired by the castle. A lot of the workers that were working on the castle are now building those nice homes. The $250 million spent is circulating in this town. The town has it. So the town has $250 million now. Perhaps even more, because it seems like people are coming now from far away. Things have really gotten nice around here. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a $250 million castle on the hill now. Hold on. I thought the $250 million was circulating throughout the town now. Certainly, if I had a $250 million castle built, there must be some losers. No, it's the opposite. The $250 million spent on the castle created likely $500 million worth of wealth, possibly even more. The town has the $250 million, and there's a $250 million castle. Add those up, that's $500 million. Where's the losers? So if you live in a town like that and you see a big castle on the hill, maybe instead of sighing and saying, who does that person think they are, maybe praise them for living a lifestyle that supports so many others. It's a wild notion, huh? I mean, usually the rhetoric is the opposite. Wealth is great. Wealth is prosperity. When I see people around me with nicer things, nicer cars, nicer houses, I feel privileged to be in their presence. I want to hear what they have to say. Don't mistake that for being quick to take their financial advice. Yeah, remember, many live lavish beyond their means via credit. I guess I've rambled on long enough today. Besides, I'm almost done counting these dimes. And I'm really hungry. I can't wait to make some food. I stopped eating at night. And it's getting darker earlier and earlier now. I hope you remember to hit the like button. I always appreciate your generosity. I read the comments below, and I see many people have hit like on the comments as well. Many people have. We're doing it. We're expanding. Maybe we'll be able to turn this world into a wealthy community. No offense, but I'm going to try to start with the United States. If you're new here, and you're still here, you may be enjoying this content. So why don't you stick around? Hit that subscribe button. Comment new guy in the comments below. And look out for new guy in the comments. And maybe give him a warm welcome. I gave myself a moving target of a 1-to-1 subscriber Mercury Dime ratio. And I think this wealthy community is already almost 6,000 strong. 6,000 thousandaires, we gotta be worth millions. I feel like Dr. Evil not accounting for the inflation. We are worth millions. I mean, really, what's a million these days? It's just 1,000,000. And what's 1,000 these days? Wow, it's really become easy to become a thousandaire with this inflation. There's probably fast food workers making 1,000 a week. In some states and cities, at least. Making it and keeping it are two different things, though. Well, it took a few days, but here we are. Look at all these stacks of 25. All right, I guess that's it. That is it! Thousandaire Radio, wicked shout. Join the pen pals. You can now write me at The Thousandaire Collector, 1700 Sullivan Trail, Suite 7, Box 111, Easton, Pennsylvania, 18040. Don't forget to include your info so I can put you on my mailing list. Still counting, still counting. All right, speed it up. How many winged liberties do we have here? 1,490.